Hey there guys, my name is Blake, also known as Nerd, and welcome to a long overdue episode of Animal Crossing New Horizons. Last time we had Anka on the island, and I believe we also did some Happy Home Paradise stuff, but that means I showed off Chai's home. I don't remember if we did anything else of the source because it's been a while since I last recorded / seen that video, and I probably should have gone back before doing this. Oh well. This time, we're gonna redecorate a couple major places on the island, specifically the beach carnival as well as the wedding area, but we're gonna change it into something else, considering the fact that there's now vegetables for the game. Actually, this was months ago, but that means only a month ago. I'm actually looking at it right now. But I wanted to start with a minor project, or so I thought it was going to be minor, and that was to reconstruct all the fences and make it the country fence, since it is my favorite, and I figured it actually looked good for the neighborhood portion of the island. Before I decided to do all this, I actually had different fencing for each of the villagers based on their personalities alongside an item. But I figured an item was just enough. That was one of the main reasons I decided to fix it up. But number two, if I had fencing for that character that I really liked that fit the personality, it would either be that I didn't have enough of that fencing, or some other villager would have that same fencing, ergo wouldn't be as unique. Oh yeah, I'm also post-narrating this, and I'm also at the point, it's not sped up yet where I'm doing it, and I got a letter from the Schiller because the potatoes, that's right, I actually forgot about that because I sent him some tomatoes, tomato. Now, the process would have been a little bit quicker, except I didn't have that much country fence, and I thought I built some beforehand because I got a bunch of hardwood, but I guess I didn't have enough to complete the whole neighborhood area, so I had to build in a few fences in order for that to happen. And I also did have to move some things around the island so that way all the country fence, I almost said hardwood fencing, but all the country fencing would fit in. So that took a little bit of a process, and that's why it was a little bit longer, especially towards the casino area where I had to move some walls in the casino area in order to make room for it, as well as dig up some flowers. Luckily not pick them up, just dig them up. I'm not that like dumb and actually pick up flowers and whatnot. So I double checked the footage to make sure this was either before or after Anka moved in. Luckily this was after Anka moved in, so Anka got to experience a renovation in her house, but that means mostly the fencing. And I did start off on the right side of the island since that had some country fencing anyways, and it wasn't that hard to remove most of the fencing there, minus a few things which I don't actually remember you guys seeing it sped up, but I either had to dig up some flowers over there, or I just had to remove some of the fencing. But I did actually get a head start on that before even streaming this. Yes, you guys see my little video, or like face cam in the top left corner. I actually did stream the whole thing, but I figured speeding it up would also work just as well, so there you guys don't get to hear me talking a lot. But I did also have some fun interacting with you guys in there as well. So if you ever want to chat with me or the group or anything like that, the Nerd Nation, you can go ahead and check me out on Twitch. I'll have a link in the description below in case you're interested, but that's not about Twitch. This is about Animal Crossing. Thankfully, the whole process just took me about 30 minutes, so that was actually really good because I actually wanted to focus on the beach carnival after this. Speaking of, let's go ahead and get started on that. My main issue with the carnival, especially now with the new items, was that it was a little bit smaller, and the fencing around it wasn't really fencing. It was more like the festival garland, or it was not really garland. I can't remember the actual name of it because of course I'm recording and streaming and I forget names. Like, I know the actual name of like a beach carnival is like a pier fair or something like that, but I just call it beach carnival because it's a lot easier for me to remember that instead of like pier. Now you understand, because now I actually forgot what the actual name is. But yeah, I'm repeating myself again, it was small, and you guys might have noticed the little texture or the pattern right around the wood board, which I also did change to fit the Pier theme as well. And that is this red thing with like a couple sparkles on it. At first it looked nice, especially around the border area for the carnival because it's a completely different thing. But after looking at it, and with so many aspects or new items added to it, it just kind of felt way too off in my opinion. So I did actually remove all of that in exchange for a much bigger wooden board piece for the pier. Oh my gosh, I can't rotate. What is wrong with me? So I first constructed the new Borderland, which included the Pier stuff. I still think I have the original wood that I used for the old beach carnival before going through all of that and rebuilding it and removing the carpet and adding some new stuff in there. Like, there is now like a minigame section, which is I think like the duck target game. There's also a merry-go-round and a Ferris wheel, basically to make everything look as carnival-y as possible, which I love. I'm so glad they added those. The first thing I did was actually put in the entrance plaza, because beforehand it was just the Bunny Day entrance, which while it does look very festive, it's not really theme park or carnival-y. It just looked like it was just out of place, especially with the 2.0 update. So I give it the plaza entrance that luckily I did think I bought myself with Nook Miles rewards. Thank goodness there was extra Nook Miles stuff. And then afterwards I just did the fencing. I believe I did. No, actually, I think it put the Ferris wheel up first just to kind of give an idea of like where the main rides are gonna go, which was one in the right, one in the middle, and one on the left, and basically make it longer than it was before. I think like maybe double or maybe at the minimum times 1.5 that. I also did the fencing in a much more different fashion. Originally, it was going to be all the Festival fence. Again, I don't actually remember the full name because it's been a while since I last even obtained the Festival things in my pocket, so that's why. But the way I did it in this one, I feel was a lot better because I didn't really have that many festivals. But basically, it was a festival garland followed by 2 of the rope fencing, which I think I had to craft more. Again, I can't remember. And then put another one of those on there. And when I looked at it, I thought it was actually much better. It actually looked a lot more natural and less crowded that way. And I thought, man, I should probably keep that. Afterwards, I did put in all the stalls, the cotton candy stall, the popcorn stall, and added the rides on there. I think I actually had the rides before I did all that. No, wait a minute. Actually, no. I changed my mind. I think I did the fencing first, right? No. I did the Ferris wheel, then the fencing. I am not spinning at the video. You guys are already obviously are seeing it spread out. I also had to build a bunch more stalls since surprisingly enough, I didn't actually have enough stalls in the area to make the carnival and to put in as much items as I wanted to, which included a food place, which is basically fried food, because when you're in a carnival, you gotta have fried food at some point, right? It's like you're on vacation, you gotta have something that's not that healthy. Like, take a look at Disneyland and Dole Whip, it's like the most popular thing out there. And then obviously I still had my magic stall that I had, which I think was like a magic hat, as well as I don't know if I kept the fortune telling set or if I traded in for cards. I was debating whether to have like the fortune telling set or like just trade in for cards, but I think I still have both. And then I had 2 not 2 prizes, but like 2 duck games that were added to the 2.0 update to New Horizons. But I was actually in the chat and someone suggested that I put in prizes in that. So with one of the stalls, I put in a plush and a toy dinosaur. Just to kind of fit the theme that most of the prizes when you get at carnivals, if you win something, aren't really that good or they're not really that valuable. Even the Pokemon ones, they aren't really that valuable. Actually, funny story, IRL thing. I went to what they call this Tamale Festival with one of my closest friends down here in the desert, and there's this duck minigame, or this duck game, where you basically scoop up the duck, you look at the bottom, and I think it was a number thing. Whatever number you get was the prize you got. And a lot of the prizes, specifically in that duck game, for whatever reason, were just like donated stuffed animals, which I thought was kind of interesting, but also kind of hilarious, but I didn't laugh because it wasn't really that funny. But also, one of the rides there, I remember looking at it and I thought, oh, that's gonna be a gentle ride when we went on with her kid. She stayed with her kid, obviously, I just sat in front. And to my surprise, it wasn't. When it started spinning and going high in the air, it was intensely fast to the point where I was like just stuck on one side and I couldn't get myself back up to the other side. And then the same thing happened with like, you know that it's not really roller coaster, it's just like a bunch of cars that go up and down in a circle, very similar to a roller coaster, and then it stops and then it goes backwards. I had that same experience too. My head was just bobbing back and forth. It's been so long since I was last on any carnival ride. It wasn't like in a theme park or anything like that. And I guess while I'm talking about IRL stuff, I'm also going to Universal Studios on my birthday, since I've been to Disneyland so many times and it's been way too long since I've been to Universal. And I know I could have waited until the Super Mario Land came out, or Super Nintendo World, I'm sorry, I had to make it official. I could have waited until that actually finished up, but it's been a while and I don't know if I'm going to be able to go again before the Mario area opens. In which case, I'm going to be all over that place. That might be my favorite place I go to once that opens up. It just depends. That Mario Kart ride looks so good. But I'm getting sidetracked from all the carnival stuff. Let me go ahead and talk about the finished product, which is way better, in my opinion, than the beach carnival that we had before. It looks all natural. There's a lot more to see in there, and a lot more, I guess, not to do, but to explore. And it just feels more like a carnival and like a pier of sorts than it ever did before. Especially the Ferris wheel towards the end where you look at the water. I thought that was super neat. And then the teacup right on the left, you either hit your head on a rock or just fling yourself off to the beach if you're going too fast. So don't go too fast, my teacup rides. There are a lot of risks with that. And so we have come to the final big update I wanted to do to my island, which was to make a bigger farm. Because prior to 2.0, the only real vegetable or produce you could have actually planted was pumpkins, and that was for the Halloween season, but then you couldn't really do anything else about it. But since they added so many more things you could plant, like carrots, potatoes, tomatoes, wheat, and sugar canes, I think I actually named all of them. I figured it'd be a good time to actually make a bigger farm in order for me to produce all that, as well as have a few fruit trees of each fruit. I just had one of each fruit tree because it would make things a lot easier. But that sadly meant we had to get rid of the wedding area, which, to be honest, I wasn't really feeling for a while. It was only there for the wedding season. I thought it'd be super nice to have it look over the water, but you also get a view of the boat that is there sometimes, and it sells you fake items. Imagine having a wedding and then a boat comes in and they try to sell you fake items. So yeah, the wedding theme had to go because I think a farm is much more important for the island, especially since I wanted to make a lot of produce in case I decide to pick them up, or the water and whatnot, or to make some super convenient food, or just really any food in general. But I did not want to get rid of the wedding theme entirely, since I did put a lot of effort into it, and I thought it'd be a waste to just get rid of all the wedding items and put it back in storage. So I used a small portion of the island that I never really used aside from putting a moon there, and I just made it a tiny wedding area to kind of commemorate the fact that there was a wedding area in my island, and it's still there, but it's a little bit smaller. That meant I had to reconstruct some of the path to make it down below, and I had to use fewer wedding chairs and fewer wedding items, period, in order for that to happen, which meant, unfortunately, no harbor. Unfortunately, not the wedding chariot, which I did really like, because it really did have that Cinderella thing going on, and I really did like that. But again, it wasn't really feeling it, and I figured it needed a bit of change, which, thing it is, I decided to change it, because it actually looks super neat. You'll see in a bit here. If it is sped up, that is. Which I'm pretty sure it is. There's also cost of a smaller lake, actually slightly smaller lake, because again, I had to make the path, and very few things related to the wedding. I still kept the red and white roses because those are the colors of love, and whenever you get married, you gotta have some love-themed stuff going on, and man, it makes me kind of feel sad I'm still single, but I'm still looking. Don't worry about me. It's my life. I'll find someone eventually. But that was basically it in terms of the wedding area. Again, I just wanted to have it not only as a memory of the fact that there was a giant wedding area, but I just wanted to basically fill in pretty much the entire island with at least something interesting in there. And I'm glad I decided to go back and do all that. Now, for actually, one last thing is the wedding portion, instead of viewing the lake, they're viewing the city area. But I think that's a good trade. Now back to the farm area itself, even though I wasn't really talking about it, I was just going off topic for some reason. The farm area, again, I wanted it to be bigger, and I found a few things that were added to 2.0 that really added to the farm element. Found a tractor that I thought looked really nice. I don't remember if I kept the country fencing. No, I think I kept the same fencing that I had before, which made it a lot more farmy-like. But there were a few other new things in there as well that I really did like. I think there was a milk jug that was added in 2.0 that I really liked. But basically, the main purpose of the farm area was to show off the new food that was available, or the new produce you can make. That's what they're called, produce. Seriously, I'm telling you, every single time I record or host, narrate, or stream, I forget things so quickly. In fact, I even forget things while doing things outside of that, like even like my job. Sometimes I forget to do some things, but that's a completely different topic I won't even talk about for now. So the only problem with the tractor was it was in the spot where I wanted to put tomatoes. Obviously, I didn't want to put it in the bottom right corner because I thought it would look nice. It made a lot of sense. But unfortunately, I had to place some tomatoes in other spots of the farm area, so that's why you see a spot of tomatoes, and then a spot of potatoes, pumpkins, carrots, sugar canes, and wheat, and then every once in a while you'll see a tomato. That, and I think I put like a barrel or like some farm-related objects in like the dirt spots. And speaking of the dirt spots, I actually decided for design, like for visual aesthetics, to not have one singular dirt patch, but to have like different dirt patches for each of the produce you can get. So there was a light dirt patch and then a dark dirt patch. Actually, it was patterned dark dirt patch, light dirt patch, so forth and so forth. And each one behind all of the crops, there was also a fruit tree representing the different fruit that's available on the island that I've been able to obtain, whether it was naturally with the pear tree because that's my home fruit, or the apple, pear, cherry, etc., which I had different techniques of getting it. I think mostly visiting islands and just planting them. That was my main gimmick of getting those fruits. And the most important thing that I added was the storage shed, which nearby the farm is actually pretty convenient because I could put the vegetables away and whatnot. Also, I apologize if you could tell or hear a different tone, is because someone just entered the house and I don't want to disturb them, so that's why you're doing this. But I think luckily I'm pretty close to describing everything about the new farm area, so it doesn't really matter at this point. And the last thing I wanted to do was actually use the wheat, I guess it's wheatgrass is what they call it. Again, I don't remember. I think it's just like wheat or something, as the front line where the green mums used to be, because I thought that looked a bit more grassy than the green mums, and it actually looked really nice. However, I didn't really have enough of those during the stream in order for me to actually do all that. So I had to buy more off screen, and I'll soon be doing a tour video as well, the whole island, called the Tour 2.0, and you'll be seeing the full thing complete. But otherwise, that is the farm area, and that completes, I guess, 2.5 big things I wanted to change for the island. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Gosh, looking back at it now, I absolutely loved the farm area. I think that's probably one of my favorite areas in all of the game, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. I honestly had a lot of fun making all this and doing some changes that I felt were completely necessary when 2.0 actually came out, or actually prior to 2.0 coming out. I have been thinking about some of these changes for a while. I'm glad this happened while 2.0 was happening. I can't talk even in this tone. Oh well, it is what it is. But regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Animal Crossing New Horizons. I definitely know I had a lot of fun both streaming this and post-narrating to get all my thoughts, even though it's been a while and I was way overdue on this. So next time on Animal Crossing New Horizons, we're going to be bringing back some villagers, or actually all of our villagers, that were previously on Costa Nerd, but we haven't seen since. And we're able to bring them back because of the Happy Home Paradise expansion. So let's give them new homes. I hope to see you guys then. Do remember to take care. Gosh, the door slammed though.